Ready? We go rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Could you just hold to remain standing for a moment? We had a tragic event in, obviously in New Orleans, over the last several days. And if we could just do a moment of silence on behalf of those that lost their lives, as well as the first responders that provided assistance. Thank you. Beth, has this meeting been published in reference to the Open Public Meetings Act?
Yes, Chairman, it has.
Can I get a roll call, Commissioners?
Mr. Davis.
Here.
Mr. DeWise.
Here.
Ms. Fisher. Here. Mr. Grillo.
Here.
Mr. Parikh.
Here.
Councilwoman Roberts. Here. Mr. Scott.
Here.
Chairman Zabrowski.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Chairman, if
go
I
ahead.
may, on a day as we have, there is an emergency resolution that we need. David will further explain shortly, and then Mike will further explain, but there's a package of information provided on theirs. We just received that. So it will be in addition to the resolution. It will be resolution number F.
We have the minutes to approve, the December 12th, 2024 minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to take a look at those minutes? Are there any requests for edits or modifications? If not, can I get a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. I want to take something out of order so we can move resolution B up now, which is the resolution establishing agency officers for calendar year 2025. We have, good.
The attorney will take the nomination, right? Mike?
Or the board secretary, which is actually, you.
Okay, so we have a chairman and vice chairman for the agency. So, as Mike says, I'll take the nomination.
I would like to nominate John Zabrowski for chairman.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Any other nomination? None?
No.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis. Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo.
Enthusiastically, yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes, thank you.
Will take for the vice chairman.
Okay, I have a motion, or actually a nomination for our vice chair for the year 2025.
Second.
Roll call. Or is there any other nominations? Roll call?
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo.
Yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Attorney's report?
There's an added item that we reflected about regarding the need for an easement with regard to a pipe that is a storm sewer drain line from the MCUA property, goes across Sarah's property for a little bit. The drain pipe has collapsed. There's a need for replacing that pipe and also some head wall work, and the engineer can report further on that. The second item is you'll see in item 1.06, which is, oh, I may have my numbers wrong. Resolution 1.01, sorry, thank you. 1.01 involving a termination of an easement from 1958 with regard to sanitary sewer line, and then imposition of a new and revised easement. The resolution is in your package. It has two attachments. This afternoon, the fine engineers at CME discovered that on the adjacent property, the listing of the lot and blocks were incorrect. So the developer quickly revised the plans, and I distributed the plans with the correct lot and block, so you can remove the exhibits attached to 1.01 and add these two exhibits to it. I believe that's it, Chairman, unless the Executive Director had something more for me.
Any questions for the attorney? Seeing none, engineers report.
First item is our executive director talked about earlier. This is as a result of a meeting that was held with MCUA and the director, myself, and Mike and Justin with MCUA. And I think Riverton was also present at that meeting. And MCUA has to replace pipes under the Conrail railroad tracks. If they don't, there could be a failure of the tracks, which means there could be a catastrophe. So they're in the process of getting ready to have Conrail lift the rails, put new pipes in. But in order for those pipes to be stable, they need to build a head wall, okay, on our property. Right now, all the water drains that way anyway. The pipes discharge that way. They just want to put a head wall there. We prepared the easement that defines, once they give us the plans, we prepared the easement since it's on Sarah's property. Since we did the overall survey for it, it was easy for us to prepare the description. The only thing we would recommend, since if the remote chance that Main Street bypass is ever built in this area, we want to make sure that Mike includes wording in the transfer document that says that Sarah reserves the right to modify this structure as needed if the Main Street bypass is ever built in that area. But we recommend this. It's something that's vitally needed. The reason it's last minute is because their engineers were preparing their documents to get to us. And they really need to do the project quickly. So we worked on this the last couple of hours of the day in order to get it to. And that concludes my portion of the report, and I refer the rest to Jay. Not Jay, Justin.
David, they did agree that that amendment to allow us to change if we need to. I think in the meeting, they said they have no problem with that.
Can I get a clarification on what you had said? You said if there needs to be an amendment, if we go to use the bypass, if we plan on the bypass, could it be for anything rather than just the bypass in case things change?
Well, really, the only thing, if we built a road in that area, okay, so we don't have to call it the bypass, but say for the construction of any road in that area, we reserve the right to go through and modify this. But what we would basically do was take out the head wall and we would pipe it further to the ditch that is located on our property.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that we didn't limit it so that if it was some other need, if we weren't.
The only need would wind up being the construction of a road that we would need it for.
Okay, thank you.
Good pickup. Okay, Justin?
Thanks, Dave. The other item you mentioned was the easement near MCUA, how they're going to eliminate an older easement that was larger than necessary. SSA and MCUA worked together in our office in agreement that the smaller easement is acceptable. It's for a sanitary sewer at their property. And then as far as Riverton, as everyone can see, there's great progress being made at the Bass Pro Shop. They're now bringing utilities from the road to the site. That's it. Thank you.
Any questions or comments for our engineer? Well, we have our engineer's report. We do have with us tonight, Mark and Kevin from Riverton. Happy New Year's to both of you. Do you want to take a moment to kind of just say a few things? I know we did get that update. It's fantastic. We love seeing the framing for Bass Pro Shop, but there's you don't feel free if you don't need to make comment, but you're more than welcome.
That's
Mark, if you come this way, because the public, gets to hear, sorry. You,
open it to any questions?
we'll give you
Everybody
1
has.
minute, so go ahead.
I'm trying to be quiet and not,
Oh, nice.
I spent the day yelling, so I'll be peaceful now. So yeah, I mean, the structural steel is, speaks for itself. We'll have the building entirely topped out by the middle of March. The trades, I can't thank the Middlesex County building trades enough. These guys out there fighting through the weather and, working through the holidays. They did not work on Christmas or New Year's, but, they worked through the holidays and we're making progress every day. As Justin mentioned, we're bringing the utilities into the site and that in and of itself, I'll just quick, point on that. It's not so simple to bring, it's not like a normal job, as Dave and the engineer knows. Well, we have a new apartment building, let's bring some electric and gas in. When we explained to the utility companies, JCP&L and PSE&G, that no, we're building a city here. You can't bring a 6-inch line in. You have to plan out for millions of square feet and thousands of apartments. So it took us a good solid 2 years to really get to a point where we could plan out the utilities for the entire, eventually the city of Riverton. So all those are good things that are happening. Again, all the follow-on trades are lined up. We have just checked the numbers today. We're 82% bought out on all the trades for the core and shell. Just as a reminder, the developer, we as Riverton are building out the warm lit shell for Bass Pro. Obviously, the full building permit has been acquired as well as the sub permits. Subsequently, sometime within the next 2 or 3 weeks, Bass Pro will come in for their own building permit for the interior fit out, which from all accounts, Kevin, from what we've seen, the updates from Johnny Morris and his really talented design and construction group, is going to be a phenomenal building. It's going to be truly a destination. So we're as excited as ever and more dedicated than ever to see this thing through. Looking forward to seeing you later this year with some additional site plan approval requests that we'll be making. So any questions?
Mark, I think Kevin just delivered me the letter that you completed amended lease agreement with Bass Pro. I see, that's great. Congratulations. And I also see in the letter that you have completed ground lease with Quick Check. So that should be moving forward pretty soon. So
Yes.
we're very pleased with the progress that you're making now.
Well, we thank everybody's support and believing in us over the last couple of years where you couldn't necessarily see all the work that we're doing underground, but it is there. And from this point forward, a lot of good things to come. So again, thank you for your support.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Kevin. It's interesting, actually. It's actually interesting that when you kind of get everyone's reaction from the town, because at first it's like, could that be, do you think that is? And then all of a sudden everybody goes, yeah, it is. And it really, it's the fulfillment of an awful lot of hard work and sweat on your part, as well as our professionals and so many people that have put so much effort into this. And we really appreciate that.
Well, Chairman, that's a big motivator for us to do the right thing for the citizens of Sayreville. They've been waiting a long time to see something happen and to manifest the master plan that Dave and CME and you all have had for the property. So they'll still come and talk to us at St. Stan's and have something to say.
With a big
Looking
smile,
forward
though.
to
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Executive Director's report?
Thank you, Chairman. This time I'm going to take a shot at reading the report. But I know my able assistant will talk about the 2025 agency goals and objective. So this is an Executive Director report for January 9, 2025. Item number 1, and we're going to keep talking about Riverton project because that's an exciting things happening in town. Progress continues on the Riverton side as a development move forward. Significant progress has been made on the structure, and they are now in the process of running utility connection from the street to the building site. A New Year update meeting is being scheduled for later this month with the Riverton team and the Sarah team to review the latest milestone and upcoming plans. A topping out ceremony will be planned for March probably April, to celebrate the milestone of completing the steel framework as the project advances. The idea is that we want to get a little warmer weather for the tap-out ceremony. Item number 2, River Road site development. This morning, Sarah met with the developer to discuss potential redevelopment of the former JCP&L power plant on River Road. And I can tell you that was an exciting meeting. The proposed project presents an opportunity to bring clean energy facility to the community. The project will not result in any increased traffic, and that's a good news. Additionally, it will support job creation, providing employment opportunity during the construction phase and fuel long-term position for ongoing maintenance and management. More importantly, that structure will be coming down soon. And there is a chance that we'll have a ceremony about wrecking ball hitting the final piece of structure. More details of the project will be available after we receive the developer's application. And I just want to alert Commissioner that item E was added today after we sent the agenda earlier. When we met with them, we realized that that property is not part of the redevelopment plan. So we want to extend the plan. It's basically extending. There's a River Road redevelopment plan, but it didn't include this piece of property. So we want to extend that. So that's the resolution. We want to get that done quickly. So we are asking council, Commissioner to approve tonight, and then council will take an action with the planning board. And Rena, you got the charge now to finish that. So item number 3, payment for sidewalk repair. The Sarah-owned property of Sayreville Boulevard has damaged sidewalk that need to be repaired. The borough has engaged Accurate Concrete Inc. of South Amboy to remove 220 square feet of damaged sidewalk on Sayreville Boulevard and replace it with a new 4-inch thick concrete. Sarah will be approving the reimbursement to the borough at the February meeting, and the amount is $6,600. I believe it's already done, but as my duty to report to you that it is something that we're going to be spending money on, our funds for that. Item number 4, Sarah Podcast Initiative. The podcast equipment for Sarah has arrived and has been set up and tested by Mr. Delena. Starting next week, we'll be recording podcasts with the first episode focusing on introduction to Sarah and the function of agency. The initiative aims to enhance outreach and promote redevelopment projects through high-quality video and audio content, engaging Sayreville residents in modern and accessible format. The podcast equipment will all be available to borough for their use as well. So pretty soon, and that continues the item number 5. We're excited to announce the Sayreville Economic Redevelopment Agency, SARA, has officially launched its presence on Facebook and Instagram. This platform will serve as a key tool to keep the community informed and engaged with our redevelopment efforts and initiative. Facebook, follow us at Sayreville Economic Redevelopment Agency for updates on projects, meeting schedule, community event, and more. Instagram, stay connected on @Sayreville Sarah for redevelopment highlights and interactive stories. This platform are part of our commitment to increase transparency, sharing progress, and fostering stronger connection with the Sayreville residents and stakeholders. For exciting project milestone to opportunity for community input, we'll be providing regular update and engaged content to keep you in the loop. We encourage everyone to follow, like, and share our page to help spread the word about the exciting development and happening in Sayreville. So last month, we appointed Kevin Delena as our communication, public relation person. He's already kickstarted many projects. And once we get all these things done, we're working with Borough for our website, which is going to be sarahnj.gov now, will be started. Item number 6, draft letter for commissioners review. And their letters are provided on a day as to you. We would like them back because when we do send official letters to the residents, to the property owners, we will share copies to you at that point. But I wanted to, as I promised last meeting, we'll provide you a draft before we goes out. A draft letter has been prepared to engage business and property owner in downtown zone. This letter invites stakeholders to share their vision for revitalize downtown, building on finding from the downtown redevelopment study. It emphasizes the importance of community input in shaping and thriving dynamic downtown that benefits business, residents, and visitors. Important thing in this letter is that we have emphasized that this is not a redevelopment project. It's a revitalization project. Sarah has been, while our primary function is to redevelopment, Borough has charged us with the revitalization also, and we're undertaking these efforts. And then we eliminated all the rumors that went out with the downtown study. Item number B, area need of redevelopment communication. A separate draft letter has been prepared for property owners in recommended designated areas, including Main Street and Crossman Road and Unston Road and Minimal area. This letter explains the area in need of redevelopment designation, addressing potential concern and clarifying that designations does not involve condemnation, which has always been connotation with the redevelopment saying, town will take over the property. We have clearly adopted non-condemnation redevelopment process. It highlights the redevelopment process, its goals, potential benefits such as attracting investment, improving infrastructure, and fostering economic growth. There's also potential that they will be able to obtain some grants that are out there from the state. If you have any question or concern regarding the draft, please feel free to email me and I will make the necessary changes before the letters are sent out. That concludes the administrative report, executive director's report. I'm going to turn it over to Zach to go over the 2025 agency goals and objectives.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So me and Himanshu worked together to just kind of create some goals and objectives for the new year. So I'll just read them over. One is advance key redevelopment projects. So we're going to try and ensure timely progress on active projects like Riverton and other designated redevelopment zones. We're going to identify and prioritize new areas in need of redevelopment based on strategic value and community impact, and strengthen our partnerships with developers to keep projects on schedule and within scope. Number two is enhance community engagement. We're going to launch the Sarah podcast to improve transparency and communicate updates to residents. We'll host forums, workshops, or events to gather input on redevelopment projects, develop clear, accessible materials to educate the public on the redevelopment process and its benefits. Number three is strengthen collaboration with stakeholders, build strong relationships with property and business owners through regular outreach and communication, coordinate more effectively with the planning board, mayor's office, and borough council to align redevelopment goals, and seek input from community organizations and residents to ensure redevelopment aligns with the local needs. Number four is to promote economic growth. We're going to attract diverse businesses to Sayreville, emphasizing local job creation and economic stability, support the revitalization of downtown to create a vibrant hub for business, residents, and visitors, identify and address barriers to economic development such as infrastructure needs or zoning updates. Number five is improve operational efficiency. So we're going to streamline internal processes to ensure timely completion of tasks and projects, implement tracking systems to measure progress on redevelopment initiatives and report back to the stakeholders, provide professional development opportunities for staff to enhance expertise in redevelopment and urban planning. And that's what we came up with.
Thank you, Zach. Do any of our commissioners have any questions or comments for either Himanshu or Zach?
Very well thought out.
Thank you.
Just one comment on the letter for area needed redevelopment, development, the communication. We do that for the purposes of making sure and really getting those property owners, number one, the notice of what our intent is or what we'd like to do, but also to get them on board, because it's vital to be able to have those property owners initiated and taking part in whatever will take place. Those two areas are very important. And one, the downtown, the lower Main Street area is very vital for Riverton because it really is the gateway in one way into Riverton. So we really would like to see that area continue to foster and be and have more asset and value for us. The second is the area in Ernston Road, and we hope that that will in some way be connected at some point to the transit village that's being that's planned for and taking place in the Old Bridge area. So appreciate your efforts on that. Moving on, we have authorization for payment of bills today. Total amount, $41,227.60. Operating is $29,458.10. Escrow, $11,769.50. Has everyone had an opportunity to take a look at bills? And is there any questions or comments in relationship to those? If not, I'd take a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher. Mr. Grillo.
Just left.
Okay, Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have resolutions. First is A is 2025-0101, resolution terminating existing 1958 easement and establishing new sanitary sewer easement regarding block 25601, lot 24, which was formerly part of block 257, lot 3.04. This had been discussed earlier, both by engineer as well as our attorney. Any additional comments or questions before we go to a vote? Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
Second
that motion.
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
We already took care of Resolution B, so we move on to C, 2025-0103, resolution establishing employees' salaries for calendar year 2025. Questions or comments? If not, motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis. Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo. Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have resolution, D, which is 2025-0104, resolution establishing meeting schedule for calendar year 2025. This is set for our year. As you see, there's also a time for working groups or working meetings as well. That's been included with those as well. Any questions or comments? If not, a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo. Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts. Mr. Scott. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yep.
Thank you. You really were.
Then we have resolution 2025-0106, referring to planning board for the former JCP&L power plant. This was discussed by Himanshu earlier in his executive report.
Yeah, it is for referring for area need study to planning board.
And Chairman, the commissioners have on their desk the mapped out area that staff prepared as well as the resolution, if there are any questions.
Questions or comments?
I did have
Donna?
a question. So for the resolutions that we have going forward, can we also have the resolution ID as part of the title to cross-reference it?
The number on the agenda number, like leave a space up top.
We'll leave, put the number, which is in this case, 2025-01.06 as part of the title, like the council does. And also, can I make a recommendation that with projects that come across, can we start finding a way to have a common project ID that will carry across the different entities? Can we possibly start that here so that a project ID will have the same reference number when it goes to council, when it goes to planning, when it comes back, so that we can follow that project through? Is that something we can start initiating?
For the
Standardized
financial
names.
purpose, we only create when when it actually takes place. So, but we can certainly, for our internal tracking, we can start the project numbers. So we'll start with the year one, and that's how we're gonna assign the project number, just like we do with the resolution.
Maybe it's something that we should speak across the different committees and commissions with. And John, I think you have planning and Sarah, is this something that we can do across those two?
I think that's something we should discuss.
That's, yeah, I'd
I
like.
think maybe we could put a proposal together and have maybe a subgroup get together on the, from representatives or maybe at least the secretaries from each board, and see if we can get that done. I think it's a great idea.
I'd like to see that discussion.
Okay.
I think it would be valuable to watch how something goes throughout the entire process.
Zach, if you would, I'd appreciate if you could, see if you can schedule, we'll talk about who should be invited, but then we'll schedule a meeting in order to, have that discussion.
Thank you.
John, to address those comments, though, it might be simple for this particular project, just to call it the former power plant site.
Works for me.
That's a start.
Simple as easy.
Commissioner, I just realized that this particular resolution just came about tonight and the number were assigned, but if you look at what's in the agenda added, there is on top, those numbers are there. So in this case, this was just brought tonight, so it wasn't listed out there.
Okay.
It's okay,
And they're in the,
but it's a good suggestion. It's good to track and.
But we'll have that discussion. Yeah, absolutely. Now, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher, Mr.
Yes.
Grillo, Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Scott, Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. Now we have 2025-0, I'm sorry.
Can we go back
Okay.
I have to abstain from the panel.
So we'll go back and do another,
We'll do another roll call.
Do another roll call.
Sure.
and if someone else would like to make the motion and then second.
I'll make that motion.
Roberts and Davis. Great. Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yes.
Mr. Grillo, Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts, Mr. Scott, abstain. Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now on to resolution 20.
2025-0107.
I'm not sure exactly how that's going to be entitled. I know it's the creation of a utility or approving a resolution for utility easement for block 25601, part of lot 24. Maybe you can,
And I would just add to that regarding replacement of a collapsed storm sewer line and construction of a head wall with retained rights to modify as needed for future roadway construction.
simple is better. Are there any additional questions on this? This was discussed earlier as well. If not, can I have a motion to approve? Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call?
This was for 2025.01.07, correct? Okay,
Correct.
thank you. Mr. Davis.
Yes.
Mr. DeWise.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher.
Yeah.
Mr. Grillo, Mr. Parikh.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Mr. Scott. Okay, Chairman Zabrowski.
Yes. I think that takes care of all our resolutions and on to commissioners' comments. And before I open that up, I just want to, as you see, Paula's not here this evening. Paula has told us that based on some personal issues and what have you, that she can't continue to serve on our board. But I want to take the opportunity to thank her for all her efforts. She certainly was, she gave us a great deal to always think about in discussions, and we certainly appreciate that. And again, we wish her well and hope that she does stay connected to the borough and some of the other committees as well. Any other comments or questions from our commission?
Chairman, we'll have a plaque for presentation at the next meeting.
This is the new year. I don't know if anyone else, any other commissioners want to speak, but do want to wish everyone a happy new year. And I hope that everyone has a very safe and healthy one as well. Look forward to working with each and every one of you as the year moves on, hopefully with some fantastic projects. And for our workshops, if there's any ideas that you may have, we're just not going to rely still on Steve all the time, but there's always plenty of work that can be done and talked about for the borough, and hopefully we can stimulate some discussion on that. Anybody else?
I wish everyone a happy new year and Good to see Riverton coming out of the ground like that, right? What you guys are doing. for sure.
Rob?
Was that?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you, and it's great working with you. It's nice to see all this new development going in Sayreville. Thank you to all.
Donna?
Okay, I am just looking forward to a very positive and productive year to do great things for our town and moving forward. So, and thank you to all of our professionals and executives that we have now that are really pulling everything together, our new members. It's an exciting time to be here and a great group of people that we have working on all of this.
I will.
Okay.
So just a great group of professionals and great people. And I really, I look forward to these meetings.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, everyone. Moving on, this is our opportunity to open up to the public. Do we need to take a motion, right?
Do a motion first and
Yeah.
then I'll read my.
Can I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? To help keep this meeting as organized as possible, we ask members of the public to approach, state your name, and strive to limit your comment to 3 minutes. All comments this evening should refer to redevelopment and agenda items and be based upon NJSA 10:4/12A and the Sayreville Economic and Redevelopment Agency rules. In the event a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made during regular business hours with the agency's office. Thank you.
Now, anybody from the public wish to speak? Anybody from the public wish to speak? Going once? Going twice? 3 times? Can I have a motion to close public portion?
So moved.
Second.
Do we need a roll call or just voice?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Any, no reason for executive session? Can I take a motion for adjournment?
All in favor?
Aye.
Everyone, have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody. Stay warm.
For the minutes, the meeting adjourned at